I love Wednesdays because it lets me evaluate what has already happened this week and what will be happening in the rest of the days, the upcoming days. And so today I want to visit with you about a subject where God flipped the script on me about our discussion today. And so we're going to discuss a vibrant productivity. Vibrant productivity. And so think about it. When you see a picture that is vibrant, it's full of color and life. And it makes you want to look at the details of it because it is so beautifully presented. That's what we want to do in your life and mine today on Food for Thought with Sherry Chester, as we are women in leadership in multiple areas of our life. So let's talk about what does vibrant productivity look like. Well, first, vibrant productivity looks like getting a hold of your finances in the most simplest of ways. We measure what we treasure, and your finances do not happen to you. You happen to your finances. So part of what I want to make sure that you're doing today, whether you're using a system like Expensify or Every Dollar or a ledger in Excel or something altogether different, remember, you want to be writing things down in such a way and logging that you're not logging your expenses, but you're projecting what you're going to spend. And you're like, that just seems more trouble than it's worth. I'm not making that much money. We are commanded to be good stewards of our time, talent, and treasure. So one way that you can have vibrant productivity is by making sure that you're managing your finances. Now, realize this is 3/3/21. We are still in the first quarter of the year. It is not too late for you to get a hold of your finances, to make sure that you're honest with yourself, where you're spending money and what it looks like. Now, remember, today we're talking about vibrant productivity. One of the best things you can do to ease your mind is to make sure that whether you write it down on paper, you have it in a spreadsheet, the method that you do it is not what's important here. What's vital is that you take the time to make a budget. And, those things adjust every month. Mine adjusts monthly, and that's okay, but at least it lets you see where you're at on the way to where you're going. Now, 3 more things I want us to discuss during our time together with Food for Thought is how you can become more productive. The first way to become more productive is look at your cell phone. So many times throughout the day, you are getting notifications about everything from emails to Facebook to Clubhouse to any number of apps that may be on your phone. What we want to do is turn those unnecessary notifications off. Your phone is not to dictate your time or your schedule. And when those notifications come across on the phone, it can be distracting. And then all of a sudden you've lost 5 to 15 minutes looking at something that if you'll just go into the settings, go through every app. If you have children, make sure you keep the one on that helps track the kids. Keep the ones on that are essential to your work and your life. Turn the rest of those notifications off. If you're working outside the home, Facebook and Instagram, unless they're a part of your job, you don't need those notifications until before and after work anyway. And so you can go check on purpose. You will be shocked what just going to your settings and turning off your notifications will do for your productivity, because it will help you be more centered and focused. So we've talked about finances. We've talked about the fact that you manage those. They don't manage you. Secondly, we've talked about turn the notifications off of your phone. We're talking about vibrant productivity to where your life shines and it resonates with a beauty and a character and integrity. The next thing we want to discuss is scheduling. Once again, it doesn't matter what app, what method, what means you use to schedule. What is vital here is that you schedule the day, not just appointments, because here's what happens. Sometimes when you have an appointment, like I have 6 today, 6 appointments, but if I did not put in the task of what I wanted to do in between those appointments, it would look like I had a fair amount of time on my hands. If someone asked me to go to coffee or do something, I might think that I had all the time in the world, when in reality, I don't today, because the day is scheduled out. Make sure that when you're scheduling your day, you put your task in there as well. And you're like, well, what if someone needs me? Well, if they do, and they come to you and they ask for 5 minutes of your time, tell them yes. You will give them 5 minutes. Do what Jessica Bealer tells many of us over and over. Stand up. Post-COVID, get in their bubble, get in their space, and give them the 5 minutes. Look at your watch or your phone or clock on the wall, whatever means you keep up with time, so that they understand you are giving them the 5 minutes. But track your day. And when I talk about scheduling, having vibrant productivity, this means we schedule our Sabbath. We schedule time to have fun. If you're eating with your family 3 nights a week, you need to schedule that in. Schedule your cook time. Understand what your day looks like. And you're like, well, you're being rather dogmatic. No, we're talking about having a vibrant productivity that helps you understand where your time is going. Keep in mind, in Ephesians, God tells us, that we're to work with an excellent spirit, and that productivity is part of who we are and what we do. So it's not only an essential way of living, but we know that the Word tells us that we're to be skillful, that we're to manage our time, that we're to run our race well. So we've talked about finances, the calendar, making sure you schedule fun, the Sabbath, appointments, and tasks. Make sure you schedule family time too. If you know that you are taking children to different events, schedule that in. If you know you're attending an event of a grandchild, schedule those things into your day, because you'll understand where your time is going and where you might want to make those adjustments. The third thing is make sure that you know your work environment. Now, during this COVID season, many of us have worked from home. But as all these state releases happen and masks go off and people get back into a regular work environment, remember that you have a choice when you work in an area where there's multiple people, whether it's cubbies or an open workspace. If you're really needing the quiet time to work, then make sure that you invest in some noise-canceling headphones, and not those little bitty ones that no one can see, but the big chunky monkey ones, and make sure that you're letting people know, I need this 45 minutes or this hour and a half to finish this project or develop out this idea. And so then they'll know that that's time that you need. But keep in mind, if that's how you're going to schedule out your life and your work time when other people are around, that you respect them when they have those on as well. I've been guilty of not respecting that in the past. So, Pastor Corey, this actually is a public repentance of sorry for some of the times when I kept talking when you had that on, because I've learned the importance of it since then. So having said all this, just know you track your finances. You're like, oh, well, I don't make that much, or I'm living from paycheck to paycheck. That doesn't have to be your life. Study the practices of people wealthier than you. Make sure that you figure out more than one funding stream. Make certain that you're paying tithe and offering to the Father first, and then next, make sure that you're paying yourself. Make sure that if you do have debt, that you work on a snowball process. Pay what you need to off first, the smallest bill, but everything is about balance. Our finances, our scheduling, the notifications on our phone, and how we work. Here's the deal. God longs to be with you. So above all, make sure that in your finances, in your time, in your scheduling, and how you work, that you are giving him your best first. Most people have their most productive times in the mornings, anywhere from 4 or 5 till around 2. Make sure you're doing the hard things then and not the things that do not take as much mental energy. Also, make sure that you are giving God your best time, whatever that looks like for you in your day. And having said all this, I tell you what, I'm really glad to be here with you. I want to remind you that Saturdays with Sherry are at 9 a.m. this Saturday. Looking really forward to our special guests that you're going to love. On Thursday, March 11th, we'll have Latasha Davis and Sabrina Williams with us, looking at the role of faith in leadership, because we do not separate those two things. And as I'm just encouraging you what to do, review what you're doing, how you are doing it, and then repeat. If you do not have written goals, make sure you take some time to do that today. Review, do, and repeat. Also, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to Women in Leadership with Sherry Chester. I look forward to you doing that. I'm very thankful for our time together, because remember, it's all about women in leadership and you winning in life. I know that God has called me to live a legacy, to leave a legacy, and to help women be able to juggle and to spin those plates well while having a really great time at what they do. So until Saturday at 9 a.m. with Miss Peoples, just know that God is here to help you win in life, and I am too. God bless you.